Well, I've got a hammer, and I've got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. Welcome to Nerds Gone Rogue, episode 117. My name is Matthew Keel. I am at infinite_rewind on every social media platform you could conceivably imagine. Alongside me are my bros. First up, our video-in-chief, Corey in HD 86, everywhere except for PlayStation because Shuhei won't let us change our names yet.
I don't even know if I'm going to change it. It doesn't change it. It only changes it on certain games.
Oh no! You don't play your PlayStation anyway. What are you worried about?
Excuse me.
No,
I'm still playing Spider-Man. Thank you very much.
Well, that's just because you're slow.
Hey, I got a lot of work to do.
He's relishing.
I'm enjoying my spandex and my flat city and my backpacks.
What does that have to do with Spider-Man? That's your life.
True. You caught me. I'm wearing my red spandex under this shirt right now.
Attaboy, Corey. Yeah. Attaboy, Corey. That third voice is at Svhenn on social media everywhere, I believe.
I'm lucky that YouTube flags nipples. I'll be doing this show shirtless. Yeah. No, the naughty nipples.
Just put some tape across them. Come on the show with like tape.
Electrical tape, just like X's.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, at Svhenn everywhere on social media, even PSN. Most cool.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm doing real good. It's Monday. I got a concert tomorrow. I'm excited. Churches.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good show.
Their album is getting better, but it's not great. Like I've liked it increasingly over the time it's been out, but it's still not their first two.
I wish I knew what you guys were talking about because
it's called there's a new invention called music. It's a really good thing.
It's all right. It's fine.
But you should the band Churches. It's spelt with a V, like they're from ancient Rome, and
see that's too complicated. I'm sorry. I'm unimpressed by your fancy V's.
Fancy V's.
No, they spelled it with a V so that it wouldn't get lost in the church search because there's so many damn churches out there.
Like that song, and there's like
there's like a bunch of bands with church in their name.
Yeah. But anyways.
I went to a concert.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. So we play video games here, or at least we try to. We make a concerted effort to really understand them.
Oh, we play games.
What are you guys playing?
Well, I guess I'll start. I'm playing that Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I can't put it down. I know last week I was kind of down on it because it started out slow, but now that I've made my way through it, I'm like 30 hours in, and I can't put it down. Might be my favorite one in the series.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, after like the first maybe hour and a half to 2 hours, I was convinced that it was not going to be as good as Rise of the Tomb Raider. Game goes to places, and it's fun to play. Let me tell you, once you start unlocking the outfits and unlocking those special skills, game gets real good.
Sounds like Spider-Man. Would you start unlocking those outfits with special skills?
You know what?
Wow.
I have also been playing Spider-Man. You know what? I was convinced after the first 2 hours it wasn't going to be that good. But once you want to start unlocking the outfits and special skills,
Web Blossom, yo,
starts getting good. Oh man, but yeah, dude, Tomb Raider's good. And I know these games keep getting put out and just getting lost in the shuffle, but
because Square just has a real knack for knowing when to put their games behind the 8 ball.
True.
Unless it's Final Fantasy.
I mean, those games just come out whenever they want.
Yeah.
So.
They do.
But yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is really good. I like the combat. I've been trying to play the game stealth because you get extra XP if you play stealthily.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool to like find the mud patches and make yourself all muddy and hide up against the wall. And when guards come by, you can just stab them in the neck and they're just dead. They're just gone. And I unlocked a special skill to where like you can kill one, and if somebody's right behind them, you can do like a double kill. It's really cool.
Nice.
You know, I get why people don't like Shadow of the Tomb Raider and like, oh, how far will you go to do whatever you believe in? But it's an action game. You're gonna murder people.
Yeah.
It's the same thing for Uncharted, right? Like, get over it. It's just an action game. So I like hiding in the trees too, and shooting my rope bow down and hanging. You can shoot the guy through the neck and just tie him up and hang him. It's awesome.
Sounds like you're going to some dark places, Corey.
Oh yeah, dude. Let me tell you, I went into this one tomb, like where I'm at now, and there's like these cannibal / kind of zombies, but not really looking tribal people, and they will F you up, man. I found a shotgun right before I went into the tomb. I'm like, why are they giving me a shotgun? There's not very much combat in this game. And I go in there, and there's like 5 of these things chasing you down the hallway. Ooh, man, they'll take you out in like 3 hits, man. And I'm playing on normal, so like, yeah, it gets rough. And then they have archers that shoot these poison darts. And if they shoot too many, the room starts filling up with this green gas, and it gets rough. But it's a good time. Puzzles are good. I really like the kind of like the story they're telling with Lara and Jonah, which has been her kind of partner through the whole trilogy. He's the Samoan guy that kind of follows you around. So I don't know if either of you played any of the other 2 games.
No. This has been the only one that's really piqued in interest.
Yeah. So I don't know. I also like it because it's it's not as quote unquote open world as Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's pretty linear with some wide open spaces that you can explore, which I also like because like I've just been so kind of done with open world games for a while, and it's kind of a nice change of pace, especially when I have Assassin's Creed on the back burner for this. It's kind of nice to have a linear experience before I go spend 3 million hours murdering Spartans and Athenians. So, but
well, hey, you can pay an extra $10-$20 and you can just do half that much.
Yeah,
because microtransactions make games so much better, don't they, gentlemen?
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you. I spent exactly $0 on Madden Ultimate Team, which is another game I've been playing.
Glad these segues are amazing.
I know, right? Man, we're really coming into our own 117 episodes. Let me tell you what, though, man.
Kenny Hall of Last Life, take some segue notes.
Yeah, take notes. No, yeah, man. It's like, man, every time you boot that game up, every single loading screen is a Madden Ultimate Team. Oh, buy 10 packs, get a couple free. Oh, here's your last chance to get your hero cards. And, I'm like, hero cards?
Am I playing Magic? What's going on here?
I'm like, it's fucking Madden. It's so like, I've been
now in Madden Ultimate Team, Siobhan Ditka.
even when you pause the game during a game, it's like,
want to buy a pack?
You remember to purchase your Madden Ultimate Team cards? There's an event coming up. I'm like, no. The only event I have coming up is Halloween.
Nice.
So, but yeah, man, I refuse to play as anybody other than the Browns. People let me know that.
Do you, man?
Either by scoring a lot of points or sending me messages like, "Oh, Baker Mayfield's dumb." I'm like, okay.
It says I won on my screen. What does it say on yours?
It's like, yeah, 300 yards and 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. It's dumb.
Yeah, it's terrible.
But the thing is in Madden Online still has the problem I've had with Madden since like 2004 is like people always pick the teams with the fast quarterbacks and the fast receivers, and they just every single time they roll out to the right and they just chuck a bomb, and I'm like, it like, okay, you just put someone on QB spy duty, put your defensive ends on contain, and you run cover 3, and I'm like.
I mean, how did you not know that?
And I'm like, okay, I'll run a 3-4. Put 8 guys back in coverage and have my defensive ends in contain. You're not going anywhere. I have Myles Garrett. So
yeah,
I'm just like, man,
get him, Garrett, get him.
Just saying, I'm 8-8 online, but my defense is only giving up 8.9 points a game. But I did give up 35 points in one game. But it wasn't my defensive fault. It's because I threw 4 interceptions.
Your defensive line standing in front of the quarterback, just looking him down. Like,
yeah, well, like
somewhere in your Madden code, your offense is like, oh, you think you're that good defense? Watch this.
Yeah. So, yeah, that game was rough. I lost 35-20, but it was like it should have been a way worse. He had like 700 yards of total offense. And I couldn't stop him. He was running the ball. He was running the ball, but like he couldn't throw the ball. So like he would complete like 2 passes, and then I would get an interception. And I had like 4 interceptions that game. But man, this guy was good.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah. When you start moving through the echelons of the like, you realize, I mean, I never did it in Madden, but I did it in FIFA. And like you see the tactics change, and you could tell when you've reached a level of skill that like you hadn't been dealing with prior, because all of a sudden the other player is thinking a lot differently about how to score points.
Yeah.
You're like, oh crap, I have to adjust. And that's a hard thing to do real quick.
Yeah, it really is. And like at that point, like sometimes I'm not gonna lie, when I get online, sometimes I get a little bit cocky and try to do stuff I know the Browns can't do, but I try to do it anyway. And a lot of time it backfires. But like this game, after like halfway through the first quarter, I'm playing not to lose.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was bad. The only 2 touchdowns I scored were from my defense. 2 pick sixes. But like I had 2 really good punts inside the 5-yard line. And he goes to throw like a 30-yard bomb, and I would pick it off with Denzel Ward and just kind of run it back. It's
cool.
It's kind of nice. The Browns defense is so good.
In Madden.
I'm not kidding. They have 4 captains on defense because they allow you to pick 6 captains, and 4 of my captains are on defense. And I'm like, yeah, I got 2 stud linebackers, a stud safety, and a stud defensive end. I'm rolling. So
nice.
But yeah, Madden Online is really interesting. It's like they give you the way they rank online is when you win, you get a certain amount of points. If you win by a certain amount, you get more points. And then if you are on a winning streak, you get like
a multiplier,
like XP multiplier boosts and stuff. And then that's how they match make you. So I had won like 4 games in a row. And this is how I got matched up with this guy that was like, and I went through and checked his stats, like where he was ranked, because they rank the top 100,000 people in the world. And he was He was only in triple digits, so he was
wow.
he's pretty good. Not gonna lie. But
Wow.
in case anybody's wondering, I'm ranked 78,984th in Madden.
Top 80,000. Good for you, Corey.
Yeah. So, but I'm sitting at 8-8. If you want to play me on Xbox, I'm going to play as the Browns. So you better pick a better.
If you see someone playing as the Browns, probably me.
Yeah.
Shitty team.
A lot of people.
Shitty console.
Now that Nerds Gone Platinum has come to the party.
That's all I've been playing.
Okay.
I've been playing Spider-Man too, but
no adventures in Tetris?
Oh yeah, I play Tetris every night, man. Before I go to bed, 2 or 3 rounds of Tetris.
Nice.
Cool.
It's there. Don't spend $40. Just download the demo. That's my weekly
deal of the week, right?
Public service announcement.
This is daily deal. Don't buy Puyo Puyo Tetris. Just get the demo.
Yeah.
You can play endless Tetris
and endless Puyo Puyo and endless mixed. Just saying.
Moose, what are you playing, sir?
The only thing that doesn't come with the demo is the adventure mode. Nobody wants to play that.
Who wants to play adventure mode?
Just saying.
Nobody.
All your high scores save. You can save your replays. I'm just saying the whole game's there except for adventure mode.
Yeah.
Idiot.
I didn't play anything from Wednesday till yesterday.
Liar.
No, I'm not lying. I didn't play anything. Oh, except except on my phone. When Kelly drove for like 3 hours, I tried Maple Story M, the new Maple Story game. For some reason, I downloaded it.
What?
It's like a
It's like a syrup thing?
Waffle maker simulator?
No, Maple Story was...
the best plant on the waffles?
It was like a 2D
The idea is to get enough syrup on your pancakes so they don't become that annoying paste.
Anyways,
Don't forget your butter.
You can pre-register for the game like you could for the Command and Conquer.
Pre-register for syrup. This must be some good syrup.
Anyways, it like I started it up and it's like one of those things where like you start up a game and it's like, oh no, you still need to download stuff to install. So I was just like, whatever. But played a little bit of that, and that was about it. I came home yesterday, played some. I did.
What the hell is this game?
I'm doing a playthrough of Bloodborne. So I did parts 1 and 2 last night, and I did part 3 tonight. And I'm hoping Jason was gonna like sparingly put those out on our channel, but I think I'm gonna put them all up at once so people can use them because they're doing an event. The Bloodborne community is doing an event October 26th through the November 1st for Halloween, and so like everybody's gonna be on and helping everybody out and all that good stuff. And so I'm going to put the videos up. So it's going to be kind of like a tips / playthrough video, like where I'll play the game and give you tips as I'm playing. So videos are roughly like an hour long each. But that was pretty much it. Yeah, that's all I played. So
okay, so I'm looking at this Maple Story M, and like this looks kind of cool.
I told you, you shut your whole mouth.
Well, you didn't tell what is the game?
It's like a 2D side scroller. You pick classes. Mm-hmm. You're hacking and slashing. I think there's instances. There's dungeons. There's magic. I'm playing a knight. You can pick what your character looks like.
So it's just it's an RPG. So it's
a little bit.
RPG.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. But it's like an MMO because you can play with other people online. So
okay.
Yeah. So like you'll be able to connect. Like I think you have to play online. Like you can't play offline at all.
Right.
So but anyways. That's what I've been playing.
Nice.
Matt.
I have
been playing.
I started back with my Spelunky stuff again. And I started doing daily streams where I would do like 3 runs and then the daily challenge. And yeah, that game is still, after all these years, very, very good. I still suck at it, apparently. Like the farthest I've gotten in any one of my runs has been the temple, and then the farthest I got on the daily has been the black market. I always find a way to die at the black market on the daily challenge. That's usually my standard. I don't think I've ever gotten to. No, I think when I was still doing the daily back when I still had a Vita, I think I'd gotten consistently to the City of Gold, and then I would find a way to die there. But yeah, that game's amazing. I was on one of my streams this week. I bumped into a guy, started watching me. He's like, "Wait a minute, I know you. You used to play Mod Nation Racers." I'm like, "Yes, I did." And so that was
There's
a
two of them.
reunion.
Two of them. Two people out there that like that game.
I'm just gonna let you have this. Dick. No, there's like us two and like a bunch of other people I played with and Greg Miller.
I am kind of surprised that they haven't tried to bring that back in some capacity.
I'm kind of with you just because,
or like Nintendo didn't rip it off for Mario Kart.
Yeah, well, no, because Nintendo won't want anyone to like. No, you're gonna play Mario. You're gonna play as the Mario characters. That's it. I'm surprised they haven't done more with.
Well, they did the Mii thing.
Yeah, and those and the Mii things are worthless.
Oh, I didn't say they were good. I just said they did it.
Yeah, but that's not really a creation tool. It was.
Oh, speaking of worthless, Nintendo worthlessness,
mm-hmm.
I did play something else, and you just reminded me. I played The World Ends With You Final Remix on Switch.
Worthless.
It's the worst $50 I've ever spent in my life. Do not buy this game.
Oh, I've been reading reviews and it's all like trash.
Dude, if you have to play this game, play the DS version or download it on your phone or whatever. Do not play this version. It's bad.
Okay.
Just.
All right.
Ooh.
So it's a bad port.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The touch stuff doesn't work very well. Don't play it docked because it's all motion controls and it is not. It is just, even if you like motion control stuff, it does not work. Sorry to interrupt. Continue.
No, you're good. You're good. Other than Spelunky, I have decided to try and transition myself out of playing so much Dead Cells.
Yeah, how's that going for you?
It's not going well, actually. It's really not, because like I pick up my Switch and that's all I want to play, and I am this close to just deleting it off the system. But
that game's so good.
It really is. It really is.
You can't help it, but it's good.
I've gotten so close to beating the end boss for the 4th time. It's just getting to the point where I think I've reached my skill ceiling and I'm not going to be able to get any higher, which sucks. But in order to do that, I did play more Octopath.
Nice.
And yeah, that game is really good. That game is. I only have like, let's see, I only have like 2 or 3 of the heroes. Like I don't have all 8. I have the hunter. The hunter is the one that speaks Old English, right? Glad you guys know.
Yep.
And then I started with Primrose, and then what's the O?
Ophelia?
I don't remember.
No, it's the guy with the big sword. I forget his name, but he's like the barbarian or warrior or whatever. So I have those 3, and yeah, that game is really goddamn good.
Ulbrich?
Yes, that's
Ulbrich.
it.
Ulbrich. Yeah, he's awesome.
Love Google.
That game.
Google. Ophelia is the cleric.
Yeah, I haven't gotten her.
She's awesome.
That game is. that is I'm starting to think that is the way forward for like old school JRPGs. Instead of making it like one giant grind fest, like give the player other stories that you can use to grind, that you can use to learn about while you're grinding, and I think that's a cool thing. But yeah, that game is really good. My Sunday night was a lot of Celeste. I have now wrapped up my time with that game. And then I played a little more Monster Hunter. And then I'm trying, like, the only Dead Cells I'm going to try and continue playing is just till I actually beat the game on PS4, just because I haven't done that yet. Let's see, I did play Enter the Gungeon. I played that a lot on Switch in lieu of Dead Cells, and that's a good roguelike, man. It really is. It's really fun. It's a good bullet hell. Well, I guess at times it's a good bullet hell because sometimes there's just like 2 or 3 enemies on a screen. But once you get to those bosses are really tough and fun.
They're fun though.
Yeah,
it's a good game. I like Enter the Gungeon.
I want to get better at it, but
ditto.
That'll be something that comes with time. And then I did some more Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter's really good.
Cool.
Like that is I'm pissed off that I waited this long to play that game, because that is easily one of the 5 best games I've played this year. So I think that's what we play in. And Corey has brought some questions from the community for this episode.
Yeah.
So what do you say?
NGRRadiopodcast@gmail.com. Email us your questions.
Yeah. Do that.
Or tweet at us at Nerds Gone
NGR
Rogue.
Radio
Finally
Podcast.
got it fixed. Nope. It's at
Oh,
Nerds
it's
Gone
Nerds
Rogue.
Gone Rogue. Oh, yes.
I fixed it. Remember that huge issue I was having?
No.
When I couldn't use Nerds Gone Rogue on Twitter or Instagram?
That was it. I didn't realize that was an issue.
Oh, it was.
Or maybe you brought it up and I forgot. That's easily plausible,
Yeah.
because I do that a lot. But I'm glad it's fixed. I'm glad we're Nerds Gone Rogue now.
Yeah,
Now
I'm
we
trying
just
to.
Now we just need to get 500 subs on YouTube so we can change it, and then we'll be fine.
Yeah, so chop, everybody. Tell your friends.
Yeah, subscribe. Just do it. Just do a one-time thing. Just stay for a week so we can change it, and then we'll be good.
You 19,789 people who downloaded the show last week, come subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, literally, that's all you need to do. Just do it once, and we'll never bother you again about it.
Yeah.
Never.
Until next week.
Until next week, yes. So
it's real simple, guys. The link to the YouTube channel is in the description of the episode. You just have to, if you're listening on your phone, you just have to tap it. It's 2 touches.
just give it a little tap.
Tap a
Little tappy.
It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
Circle. Circular. Okay, so for questions, we're going to start off with Sam Hall. He asks, what games are you looking forward to next year?
Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Woo!
That's very specific.
It's a game that's coming out next year. What do you want from me?
just
Maple Story N.
Anthem. Also looking forward to that.
You're looking forward to Anthem?
As I write my love letter to say goodbye to Destiny because I don't have enough time for it. I'm excited for Anthem.
Sucker.
Well, like, it's funny that what I've seen of Anthem and what I've heard people say about Anthem have given me 2 different impressions.
Yeah.
Like, because what I've seen of Anthem, it looks like garbage. But what I've heard people say about Anthem, I'm just like, wow, that sounds like something I might be into.
Yeah.
So that's
third person Helldivers, Matt. Third person Helldivers.
Helldivers is already in third person.
It's isometric third person.
It was still third person.
This is over the shoulder third person. Stop stealing my thunder.
Well, speak correctly, and I won't.
Fair.
So, Moose, what are you looking forward to next year? Anything off the top of your head? Oh, wait, I know. Yeah, Sekiro.
Oh, man.
Anything else?
I don't even know what's coming out next year, to be honest. I mean, theoretically, Metroid Prime 4, I'm pretty excited for if it's next year. But I still think that game is 2020.
I agree with you. There's no way it's 2019.
I think
Sekiro,
Bayonetta 3 is going to try to be their big game next year. But
I can see that totally happening because it fits. It's got a good window next year. But Sekiro for me, and then also Ghost of Tsushima. So
Is that good? Do they have a release? Or are they just projecting at this point?
it's projecting for next year. So if we're actually talking release dates, then Sekiro and I am actually one of the ones looking forward to Days Gone. I'm actually looking forward to that game.
I'm pretty interested in that game.
It's been real quiet. The team that's doing it, Sony Bend, did the SOCOM series, so I feel it could do a really good story and some good shooting mechanics. The problem is, like, the first video we saw, they ramped up, the zombies, and then they also were like, oh, he doesn't have to worry about clips because it's a demo, so there was no reload and there was no limited ammo. And so the second one that we saw where the environment changes and like one person plays through the part of the game and there's like snow on the ground and there's like more wild animals around, like they got to worry about a zombie bear, whereas then like another person was playing and didn't interact with any of that. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the gameplay is different from like playthrough to playthrough and also person to person. So I'm actually excited for the game. I'm really excited for the game.
I've also heard about that game that it's not so much mowing down zombies as it is controlling what they're after too.
Yeah, like
which like that's a cool thing. That's something Last of Us didn't do. So like if they could play
diverting their attention.
Yeah, if you could play that up more, like I feel like that's what separates those two games.
You can be in the background and just being like all stealthy and making the zombies or whatever attack what you need them to attack as a diversion or to do whatever you need to do to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. But I think it's going to be a good game. I'm hoping for Sony Bend that it's a good game. I don't think, unlike a lot of the studios out there, I know Sony does close studios, but they don't, like, some developers, they might have a flop, so they'll be able to be like, all right, well, what else you got? Let's see what else you can do before they totally kill them off. Like, EA is just like, screw your couch, fuck your couch, you're gone. With, like, what was it, Visceral Games?
Yeah.
And they didn't even do anything really, like, bad. You know what I mean? Like, they did Battlefield, Hardlines, and I think there was something else that they did, but it didn't sell too well. And so they like closed them, which was the death of Dead Space. If anybody wanted another Dead Space, but so I think Sony Bend they know what they're doing. So I'm hoping this game comes out and just floors everybody. That's what I hope.
Yeah.
So, and I'll probably pick it up anyways, just because it's a Sony exclusive. I like Sony Bend. I used to love the not SOCOM, Siphon Filter. Yeah. I was getting my games mixed up. I apologize.
Well, you're also going like you're also you also host a PlayStation podcast. So
yes.
That's definitely going to be something we're looking at.
I hear it's the third best show on Nerds Gone Rogue.
We're not going to get into the Troll Fest, Corey. Let's not do that right now. Let's not do that. Anything else
I'm on the show that's in last place, so I don't know what you're talking
about. He's on 3 of the 4 shows.
Let's not talk about your bad life choices. Anything else you're looking forward to, Moose, or is that it?
Indies as usual.
Yeah.
And probably, we might get Last of Us next year. Last of Us 2, I don't know, because a lot of people are saying that the PS5 could come as early as next year.
Yeah, that's a weird.
Which I think would be weird because they have a lot of games to finish off. They've got Ghost to get out. They've got Days Gone. They've got Last of Us 2. I think what they need to do is ride the wave of these last games that everybody's waiting for and then give their developers an extra and freaking launch in 2020 with Horizon Zero Dawn 2 and Bloodborne 2.
And Death Stranding.
The only way
Death Stranding's next year too.
The only way out of this is if PS5 or whatever the hell they decide to call it, because numbering conventions tend to go out the window sometimes. Whatever their next thing is, if it's 100% backwards compatible with PS4, I will gladly turn my PS4 in and get.
Oh yeah, definitely. I will do it day one.
100%.
Mhm.
I will go and pre-order the system, put my $100 down, and then when I gotta go trade it all in the day before I pick it up, I'll go do that, and then just trade in my PS4, because there would be no reason for me to have my Pro, because if everything's backwards compatible. But see, then that also might be why they can get around releasing it next year and not have to worry about all these titles. Be like, oh, you can play it on PS4 and PS5. So that's that's a discussion for another time. But so that those would be the main ones that I'm interested in. Oh, and Neo 2. I've almost forgot Neo 2. But anyways,
are you guys interested in Control at all?
I am.
I am a little bit.
Really cool.
I think it's going to be. It's piqued my interest.
Yeah,
especially going back
who's doing that?
Quantum Break.
Is that
Remedy.
The Quantum Break people?
Yeah, it is.
And that's on PlayStation too. It's not on.
No, it's multi-platform.
Yeah,
it's them going Microsoft, and just being like, we're going across
because Quantum Break didn't sell,
right? Because it was.
And neither did Alan Wake.
Well, the thing about Quantum Break is I don't think I ever actually knew what that game ended up being. All I remember is the TV crap they showed. I don't remember ever seeing gameplay stuff.
The gameplay stuff is actually really good. We're starting for Arsenal X and Nintendo Power Block. We're doing kind of like a platinum challenge. We're calling it the NX challenge. Challenge, and Quantum Break is on there.
Okay.
Get it? Because
the
Switch used to be called NX, and then we're mashing Nintendo and Xbox together, so it's Nintendo and Xbox just mashed together. See what we did there?
You feel really good about yourself.
I do.
Right now, don't you?
Actually, wasn't my idea. Actually, wasn't my idea. It was Jesse's, but.
Look at him stealing thunder.
I feel really good about Jesse's idea, guys.
He just.
He also wrote the new theme song for Arsenal X, so
cool.
Pretty.
So now you're looking forward to Fire Emblem?
Yeah, Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem 3
in the Garden of the House 3, I think it is, isn't it?
It's called
Fire Emblem Firehouse 3.
My second favorite prog rock album of all time.
Yeah. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I'm trying to stay like media blackout on it.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
It's because there's it's because there's 3 factions.
House Marth, House Roy, and House whoever.
I feel like they're trying to capitalize off of Game of Thrones and it's not working. But
you think?
Gears 5, I'm really looking forward to.
Okay.
I don't know. There's a few Microsoft exclusive games that I'm kind of looking forward to. Like, I think Crackdown could be. It's either going to be really awesome or suck real bad. I feel
like that is going to be the most expensive wet fart in history, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would know, man.
Is it part of the Game Pass?
All Microsoft games are part of Game Pass now.
I wouldn't even buy that. I would just be like, pay my Game Pass when it came out and play it and then be like, I'm done.
Since I started subscribing to Game Pass, I haven't bought a single Microsoft exclusive.
Good.
Now,
Game Pass is awesome.
The Game Pass, does that mean you can play it for a month, or does that mean you can play it in perpetuity?
I can play it as long as I subscribe to Game Pass.
And as long as the game's available to it. But Microsoft games, I think, are...
they're all on there, except for they just pulled Forza Horizon 2. I don't think it was on Game Pass, but they pulled it off the store because of licensing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, they just added Master Chief Collection, Quantum Break, Forza Horizon 4. There's something else they just added too that was real big. I know Fallout 4 they just added at E3. There's a lot of big games on that service.
So we got Fire Emblem, Gears 5. You're thinking Metroid Prime 4.
If it's next year. Oh, Luigi's Mansion 3 is next year too.
Now that's on Switch, right?
Yep, sure is. Thank
Yeah,
God.
I will play that
Jesus.
game.
They just didn't
Dude, if they
remaster
put that
it on 3DS.
Yeah, they remastered the first one on 3DS.
Yeah, 1 and 2 are on 3DS now.
Yeah, because
Why are they not on Switch?
I don't know because they're.
Oh wait, it's Nintendo. Oh, it's Nintendo.
Yeah,
Did you see that? Did you see that green Luigi for the multiplayer stuff?
No,
He's like a ghost Luigi that you can play through the whole game multiplayer. And the second player is a ghost version of Luigi.
All right.
It's probably the Luigi that got killed in that Smash Brothers commercial. Probably. It's yours, Moose.
Oh, very nice. See, it's nice to know these things because I got to pick one now.
I shouldn't have told you. Should have just let you pick one on a whim.
Wait, what?
He's asking whose game it is for whatever this game we play after the show.
Oh, 20 questions. Yeah, it's Moose's. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
So, well, that's if we have time. So we'll see. For me, like definitely Sekiro, definitely Neo 2. I'm also looking forward to Code Vein. Things have been pretty quiet on that, but like
I forgot that game was coming out.
But it was supposed to come out this year. But I'm kind of interested to see what the anime version of the anime vampire version of a Souls game might be. And that's probably more me projecting than anything else because I know it's only the publisher, but I've also seen enough that there's enough correlation between the two. So I'd like to see how that comes out.
Shout out to Doom Eternal also.
And then I was gonna say, like, I also really I haven't been paying attention I don't remember what's been moved to next year. So a lot of that'll come like I'll probably know more near the beginning of the year. Because I know, like, with Game of the Year, we always tend to look forward to. So that'll probably be the next time I look at what's coming out. But like Moose said with indies, I also like finding out what we don't know. Because there's surprises. Because like we knew about Dead Cells last year, but I did not expect that game to be as good as it is. I did not expect Hollow Knight to be as good as it is. I mean, granted, that came out last year, but it didn't come to consoles till this year.
But yeah, I agree.
I mean, the best. I feel like the best thing that we're going to see, we don't know about yet. So there always be ready to be surprised. And that's really my answer for that question. So we can move ahead to Ashley Davidson. I just found you guys searching through podcasts, and I'm really digging the show. I just binged the last 11 episodes. Wow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I apologize, but like at the same time, after about 3 episodes, you were probably okay with it, so I'm kind of not sorry, but that's a lot. That's a lot of us.
The fact that you went to a next episode after the one that you listened to.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Concerned, but appreciate it.
Keep up the awesome work. My question is, what is the game you would show someone who wasn't into games to show them what games have become or what they are now? My girlfriend doesn't play games because she says the controllers are too complicated. Much love. I'm gonna start here, mainly because I'm kind of in a similar situation with my partner Reba. She played like Nintendo, maybe some Super Nintendo, but not to any severe regularity. And I kind of got her playing modern games by accident because she saw me playing Spelunky, and she's like, "Oh, well, that looks like Mario Brothers. I could play that game." And I said, "Yeah, you could. We could play together." I mean, she eventually figured out that it's a little more complicated than that, but she still had fun. So I think the key is, like, if it's someone who is just categorically not interested in games, that's a harder mountain to climb. But if it's someone who hasn't played video games in a very long time, like give them something they're familiar with. Ask them what they liked then, and then try and come up with an analog, rather than saying, "Oh, you only played Mario. Well, here we're gonna give you Halo."
No,
and we're gonna make you have to worry about a first person perspective, working on X, Y, and Z axes, and good luck aiming and throwing grenades because it's all really simple, right? Right.
I think I agree with you. Finding out what they played, and kind of finding something that's in that ballpark. Also, you know, if you got an old N64 lying around, little Super Mario Brothers.
Oh God, that awful controller, that's not going to scare anybody.
Well, no, here's the thing, because
where do I put my hands?
I'll show you where to put your hands.
I like it.
It's one of the first games that use an analog stick regularly, and so it's cool because you can just run around the world, have fun, jump, all this stuff. And so I learned how to use an analog stick with Mario. So like my wife Kelly is lost in the Genesis days. Last game, she had a Wii U, but then she was using, she was only playing like New Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that. She wasn't playing like, she wasn't playing anything like a first person shooter where you need to use the Y axis, and all that stuff. You're side scroller, you know what I mean? And so I feel you need to find a game that is fun for them to play and simple to play. So like, even if they did use an analog stick occasionally, just take them back to like, here's a D-pad and 3 buttons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Take them back to something where it's simple to bring back those memories of fun, and then slowly kind of ramp it up. Like Kelly she'll play twin stick shooters. One of her favorite games is Zombie Estate, which was on the indie market on the Xbox, and Zombie Estate 2. And so she's all right with twin stick shooters. She just can't aim up. She can't control looking up or down. So it's just like it gets kind of tough, but you just need to stay vigilant with it. And if your partner is really interested in it, maybe explain to them that it's like, all right, listen, you need to understand that I've been doing this for how long, and I've been playing for how long. So I need you to not compare yourself to me. Right. So like, if you're wanting to get back into video games, number one, you need to understand that it's not as easy as it used to be.
Right.
But number two, with some practice, obviously with some mistakes and with some failings, and if you need me to go in the other room while you're playing so I don't see your mistakes because you think I'll make fun of you, which I won't,
right?
I'll do that, and you'll need to practice a little bit and put some game time in and make mistakes and really get comfortable with the controls, and then it'll become like, it'll become like you just using your iPhone or your Android, whatever phone you use to surf the internet. It'll become second nature. So
I mean, and like through playing Spelunky, like I found Adventure Pals. Moose brought that, and I'm like, you know what? I'll bet you Reba might like this because I thought we could play co-op, and we played that, and she had an absolute ball. We've played a little bit of Unravel 2. We've played a little bit of Guacamelee. Like the reason I haven't played Guacamelee 2 or Swords of Ditto is because she said she wanted to play them with me, and when we have a moment, we will definitely play both of them. But all of those games are rooted in a side-scrolling, two-dimensional platformer aesthetic. Reba has seen me play Dark Souls, and she has seen me play Bloodborne. She has seen me play, she loved watching me play Spider-Man. She's like, this is absolutely fun to watch. She's not interested in going into that, and that's totally fine, but more often than not, the best practice is to find out A, what they've played, and B, what they've liked. And if you can find an analog that sort of matches those categories, that's your best practice. Now, there could be a chance that you find something that really matches it and they just don't like it, or they're like, you know what, maybe video games just aren't for me. That's a very valid perspective too. But at least they tried.
Yeah.
Also, don't be afraid to step out of your own comfort zone to just say, hey, this is something that is just story.
Yeah.
So we can go through this together. I mean, I've heard the
Telltale, Life is Strange, those types of games. Like Son and I have played. We played a couple episodes of Life is Strange, and she really enjoyed that. Now we kind of got distracted by other things, but I think that's an easy way to kind of like play together, where she would make the decisions and I would press the button, kind of thing. But I also want to kind of give a shout out to Snipper Clips on Switch.
Okay.
The game is a great kind of one analog stick and 2-button style game where it's a simple concept, and it's a good time to play with your partner. It's a good time. And then Mario Kart 8 makes it really easy to get your partner into something. Like Sana loves playing Mario Kart because you can turn the auto go on and the stay on track mode on, and she just kind of likes to drive and hit people with things, and without having to really concentrate on anything else. So I think Nintendo's done a decent job of getting people that don't play games into games too, especially first the Wii, but especially with Switch, with Mario Kart and Snipper Clips, and then new Super Mario Brothers U that comes out in a couple weeks or so. So, or a couple months, I guess.
Yeah.
I'd also suggest on the story mode side, walking sims.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing. When I showed Kelly, she was trying to play the reboot of Tomb Raider. It came out. What was that? 2015?
Yeah, something like that.
No, 2013. Came out in 2013. Anyways, she was trying to play that, and there was the whole rush of trying to figure out what buttons to press and everything. But if you play a walking simulator where you're just walking through and picking things up and reading things, it allows you to move through the game like you would through other games, but at a slower pace where there's not a lot of, it doesn't cause a lot of anxiety for you to try and pick up the controls, But that would be my suggestion. What is it? Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Gone Home, Dear Esther.
Gone Home, Dear Esther. What is it?
What Remains of Edith Finch?
That one. What is the other one? Ethan Carter. Yeah, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. So
one that plays
Ether.
Ether one. That's a good. That's
a good one because it's not.
It's puzzly.
Yes. And that one's puzzly, and there's spoiler alert, nothing scary going on. So you can just play it and have a good time with it and interact with the world and move at your own pace.
Yeah, I mean, Portal's really good for that too.
Mm-hmm.
But Portal's puzzles get super difficult towards the end. And while I think any one of us would stick that out, some of those get to where you need to do a whole bunch of, you need to be pretty dexterous by the end of it, and that can create a wall that might be insurmountable for some, but very good call on walking sims. I'm gonna move on because we've got a classic community member here from Deshaun Malone. He's asking, with streaming becoming more and more like a viable solution, do you think that physical media or downloaded media will ever go away? What does this future look like? I'm going to start. I think this future, looks very good in other countries, but very impossible here because internet is poor here.
Yeah. I think physical media will go away before we stop buying games altogether and just start streaming them. I really think digital is the way of the future, like it or not. And I've actually been pricing Switch memory cards because I kind of want to just do the digital thing.
Yeah.
You know, I only have a 128 memory card, and that's not going to hold everything I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been pricing that just because I don't have a lot of room in this apartment. But I mean, if we get a bigger place, I still like. I don't want clutter, and I see how many games I've collected over the year. I'm like, why? Why did I do this? You know, why do I keep these things? And you know, I've kind of been cleaning out and realizing that, you know, on PlayStation and Xbox, I've gone totally all digital, and it's been the best decision. You know, and I feel like with Nintendo specifically, it's always been like, let's collect because we grew up collecting Nintendo games or whatever, and it's like, why? Why did we do this? You know, I had fun. Like those games were fun, but like. Keep the ones that give you the best memories and get rid of it. And it's like with Switch more than ever, it's like not only do I just want to go all digital on it for convenience sake. Well, I mean, that is kind of like the main reason, because like getting up and taking the Switch out of the dock to switch the cartridge to play another game on that thing is like, man, this is not 1997 anymore.
Yeah.
No.
I just want to hit the home button, scroll over to another app, and just start playing another game. But I don't know. I feel like the days are numbered on physical media in general. I mean, you see Best Buy getting rid of CDs recently. They're starting to go that way with DVDs, where you can only get Blu-rays now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like digital is the way of the future, and you know, it's scary, but at the same time, it's like if these companies go away and your account's lost, we probably have bigger issues than like than you know what games we can't play anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So but yeah, I think downloading games will be there for sure for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I think streaming is going to be an option, especially next gen. I don't, you know, I really don't see streaming being a viable option here, even though that Google Chrome Assassin's Creed thing seems to be doing all right. But I don't know. I really don't.
It'll be a while. I think
Yeah.
also it's gonna. So I think the idea has to be out there for a while for people to accept it. You can't just come in and say, "Hey, we want to do streaming." It's like, whoa. Like, I'm used to this. I'm used to being able to buy my games digitally, play them on my console, you know. And then, well, here's the other thing. You want to talk about streaming services. I don't think we'll ever completely get rid of something you can buy. Maybe the people who don't have internet in certain areas might have to move to PC. If consoles decide to go all streaming, like, it heavily relies on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the internet's out. And it's like, okay, well, I can at least play the games that I downloaded. So there's your digital or physically bought. Now, I can see us definitely get rid of physical and moving to digital well before we'll move to streaming. Like, streaming will take a while, I think. I think the infrastructure, Google Fiber or some kind of fiber needs to get out there and start whooping ass on the uploads and the downloads before. And not only that, but just consistency in connectivity before we move to a straight streaming service. So I could see us having a PlayStation 6 and an Xbox, whatever they're going to call the one after the next one. So,
well, the one console future that we keep hearing about, like, I feel like it'll probably be that once streaming becomes a thing. But I think what needs to happen for a solely streaming thing, like there are two, at least in this country, because I can't speak for another country, but here, like, there are large swaths of the country that just do not have very good internet. And very good means their internet is like shitty at best. Like, just because we're a big country where the population is predominantly on the coasts, and those are the people that seem to complain the most, while as there are plenty of people in the middle of the country that are just forgotten about. Like, it's kind of how Trump became president. But but I think in order for that to happen, the idea of the internet as a utility has to change, because right now, like all three of us, if we were to move into a new house tomorrow or a new apartment, like there are three people we're calling. We're calling gas, we're calling electric, and we are calling internet. We don't have to call internet because you need gas. Like gas and electric are considered utilities, and you just
Water.
have to set them up.
You need water too.
If you're moving into an apartment, the water's already set up. I mean, you don't really have.
I didn't know that.
Like
ran out of apartment.
But or at least that's how it was here. Like I did not have to set up the water anywhere I moved.
Yeah, that's how it is here too.
If I bought a house, that's probably a different thing.
That's a great story on our part, but anyways. That's stories from Moose's fever dreams. So, for another time.
Like I feel like the internet has to become classified as a utility. And then there are all sorts of political things that go along with that, and in order for that to happen, everybody has to have a certain level of it at least, and just to reach that level, most of the country is going to have to be upgraded, and that's going to be a big project and increase taxes, and people on both sides of the political aisle tend to get up in arms when taxes go up.
Yep.
So we will keep our own selves down at that point. As for physical media, I can see a future not too far off where physical media is specifically like collector's editions.
Mm-hmm.
Like you will get a physical, like, I mean, hell, most Kickstarters, like you get a copy of the game, but like the base level to get a game, it's usually just digital. And then like you have to go to a higher tier to get a physical copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was how Bloodstained was.
Yeah. I mean, even Ukulele was like, the collector's edition for the N64 box and everything. Like it came with like an N64 cartridge, but you had to open the box to get the digital code for the PC version. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming that's how it worked with the other versions too. But like, it was still like, hey, guess what? You get a cartridge that doesn't work.
But yeah, like I think the digital the all digital future is closer, and the all streaming future is it requires some hoops, and based on the way things are now, especially with a guy like Ajit Pai, I think is his name, and he's the guy at the FCC that has basically put anti-net neutrality into effect. Like the internet ain't becoming a utility with shit like that, because
there
are people in positions that stand to make a lot of money if it's not neutral. So I think we are a ways away, but here's hoping. I'm gonna move on to the next question if you guys don't mind. We've got Chase Willingham. With the official announcement of next gen PlayStation and Project Scarlet, what launch titles do you want for your system of choice? What launch titles do you expect? I'm going to speak for Moose and I. We want Bloodborne 2, and we want Horizon 2. Mm-hmm. And Corey, what do you want for Xbox?
I mean, I don't know. I still think Halo. I still think Halo Infinite is going to be a cross-platform launch title for Scarlet, and you can play with Xbox One people.
Okay.
I don't know. Supposedly it's coming out next year too, but I still think I still think they're going to hold it for 2020. They're going to put it on Game Pass and say, "Hey, here's your 4K. You can play it with Xbox One X or Scarlet." And I still think, in the back of my mind, I still think Xbox One X is going to be the Xbox One S version of Scarlet. I think they're going to kind of shoehorn, if you have an Xbox One X, you already own the Scarlet type of thing, in some form. But in terms of games, I want Horizon 2, like for PlayStation. I told you guys after for Game of the Year stuff last year, I was like, that's going to be the game that gets me to buy a PlayStation 5. Hands down. Like, as soon as that game's announced, I will be out the door buying one.
Yeah.
I still think the PlayStation 5 is going to launch with a Killzone from Guerrilla because they hired that guy. They hired that guy from the Rainbow Six team. And I think they're going to try to do an in-house version of Rainbow Six through Killzone.
I think bring back.
It'll be somewhere like the Division where it's pseudo endless or whatever.
No, not so much like the Division, but more like Rainbow Six Siege, where it's like competitive multiplayer, class based, skins type thing.
Okay.
Because I know Guerrilla's kind of almost tripled their team size. At least doubled their team size, and they are working on 3 projects right now. So, and one's got to be Horizon, and I'm guessing one's Killzone, right? So, unless it's like maybe they gave them Resistance. Jokes.
No. Wasn't that? It was
Insomniac.
Insomniac, yeah. Oof.
Resistance 3 was good.
They're all over the board, which is great. I mean, Insomniac's got a great.
Spider-Man 2 would also get me to buy a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, that would too. But I don't think in 2 years, I wouldn't want a Spider-Man in 2 years.
No, I don't think it's going to be a launch title, but that's what I would want.
I think for freaking launch. I think both companies need to move their consoles if they're going to launch consoles 2020. They both got plenty of games they can write out for 2019. Gears of War 5 for the Xbox, Halo Infinite. Sony's got they got a bunch. Ghost. They've got Days Gone, and then Last of Us possibly in 2019. And Death Stranding might move to 2020.
I still think Death Stranding is going to be a PS5 launch title.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if it was. See, and here's the thing.
And that way they have a killer app for launch. They can see how that engine runs on a PS5 for Horizon, even though it's not the same studio. And, they can say, hey, Kojima's back or whatever with the launch of PS5 or whatever.
Yeah.
That'll sell systems, I think. I mean, I'm not interested, but I think that game is going to sell systems.
I mean, I like Death Stranding actually had me interested when it was just him walking over environments. I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to see where they'd go with that. But at the same time, the rest of the community was like, this looks not good. And I'm like, well, game development's hard and it's a slow process. This is what happens when you start at the beginning.
This is what happens when you show people stuff at the beginning.
Yeah.
I really hope Death Stranding is just a sequel to Adventures of Babysitting.
Okay.
No.
Sure. So you want Elizabeth Shue to show up and
yeah.
All right. With that, I'm going to move on to our final question. Maria Lockhart. Always love listening to your show every week. It's been a highlight and has even gotten me through some rough times. Now that always makes me happy. If we're making people feel a little bit better when shit's not going great for them, we are happy to do so. So thank you for those kind words, Maria. I'm always looking forward to all the podcasts you do, but I should ask my question. I have been looking to do a podcast in hopes it would help me with my anxiety and my social skills, but I've never known where to start. I know you guys have answered these types of questions before, but where do I start? And do you have any tips on calming nerves, knowing people are going to listen to everything you say? And are you afraid of ever getting rude comments and listeners? Love you all, and thanks for making my weeks better. Heart. So, as someone who has done this in both radio and podcast, the only misnomer is worrying about people listening to everything you say. because let me tell you, I listen to all of our shows and I don't know what we say all the time. And I say that because I'm not listening for the content. I generally get done with each show and I sort of have my thoughts about how we did. I don't really share those a lot of the time because I don't really think it's relevant, because I don't do this as a means for professional gain. I do this because it's me and two of my best friends chit-chatting, and it's a very nice outlet. But when I re-listen to our shows, I don't listen to see where we were wrong or right or whatever. I listen to see I listen for dead air. I listen for my own ums and likes and pauses, because I always try and present myself a little better each time. So don't think that everyone's going to listen to everything you say, because then that just puts way too much undue pressure on yourself. If you're going to do a podcast about anything, be upfront with how much you know and your experience with the subject. All of us, we play video games. So in the video game arena, we are very much eaters. We do not cook. So we will not really comment on, we'll have shit to say about developers, but we also, the one thing I've really been happy about in this show is none of us are saying, oh, well, we never throw out lazy developer. Mm-hmm. To my knowledge, to my immediate memory, that's never come out of any of our mouths, or any of our guests' mouths, and I'm really happy about that, because
not to throw anybody under the bus, but I've corrected people not on this show but other shows. Development is hard, and I always try to correct if someone says that developers are lazy or something is garbage, it's development is hard. They could have worked 3 to 5 years on this one thing, and something doesn't go right, or a publisher is pressuring them to put a game out. That's not always on the developers. Video game development is hard. That article that just came out today about 100-hour work weeks and for Rockstar for Red Dead 2. It's that's no joke, man. That's almost health hazard, that's just insane. So I really try to stay away from the word lazy as well.
Yeah, as someone who's worked 100-hour weeks just to try and make my own ends meet, that shit sucks.
The only people I think, the only companies I've ever tried to say were I was just really mad at were EA when they closed Visceral, and Telltale last week, or the last couple weeks, because that was a real shitty thing to do to those developers.
Yeah, those people got fucked.
In that respect, yeah, we say things, but it's hard, because I always try to listen to myself too, and the reason why I personally started podcasting is because I have a hard time talking to people. I really do, outside of people that I know well and whatever. I have a hard time talking to people, and that's why I started podcasting. And to this day, I still get kind of I don't know, anxious is kind of the wrong word, but get kind of nervous sometimes when we are about to go live or whatever, because I listen to our shows too, and I always notice when I'm talking, I can always tell when I'm trying to think of what to say and it doesn't come out the right way, and I try to take mental notes of what I've do right and what I do wrong and what I can improve on and stuff. And it's hard, being like this. And I don't know what, her situation is or anything, but in terms of podcasting, this has really helped me learn how to hold a conversation, and learn how to just not worry about those things as much. So, that's literally the whole reason why I started podcasting, is I need to learn how to talk to people that I don't know very well, or, people that, it taught me how to hold a conversation. And that's the whole thing about podcasting, is make it a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can do interviews, that's fine, whatever, but like make sure it's conversational. You know, I try to stay away from news stuff, except for, you know, we have 3 shows that do news stuff, but like for this show, but for this show in particular and B-sides, you know, it's like, we're just having a conversation. We don't need to be up on everything, and we're not. Like, I'm not up on anything. I tell you what, that when I play in Nintendo Power Block Saturday mornings on the toilet because I haven't kept up with the news on the week, like that's how you plan a show while you're pooping on a Saturday.
Best laid plans come out on the toilet, let me tell you.
That's, I mean, if you listen to you know, Tuesday's Power Block, I was on the toilet rushing around trying to find news. So, you know, awesome. And as I was logging into Skype to record with Ed and Jesse, I was also opening up the emails to try to see if we had any questions. Like that's how it goes sometimes. But just have a good conversation and stick with what you know and find a subject you want to talk about. And if it's a different subject every week, then it's a different subject every week, you know? So, yeah. And, you know, there's been times where we've had guests on and I'm like excited that we have that person and we've had them back. And there's other times where like, I'm like, oh boy, did we really just have that conversation with this person, you know? And it's like,
yeah, there have been a couple of those.
Yeah, especially early on, you know, where it's like, oh boy. But
yeah. And like, as far as, well, actually, Moose, before I say anything else, do you have anything to add to this?
I would say, so if you're going to start a podcast, pick a subject that you'll like to talk about. Try and find someone you can talk about it with. Like when we started Nerds Gone Platinum, you know, Corey did like the first episode and Captain Canada was like, hey, like, why are you not on there doing the podcast? And so messaged Corey and was like, hey man, you know, if you need someone to do it, I'll do it. And I asked Jason, you know, and then Jason and I started hosting the show and talking about our love for PlayStation and just gaming in general. And then added Jeff because he was a guest so much and he likes talking about PlayStation. So I feel
like I gave you that idea.
Well, yeah. You were like, why
isn't he just always on there?
Yeah, why isn't he always on? And so Jason and I talked about it, and then we were like, yeah. So we asked him, and he said, yeah. But
wasn't there a point where Jeff was on more shows than you guys were at one point because Jeff missed
more
a
than
couple
I
and you missed a couple?
Yeah, more than I was because I missed a couple. Yeah.
Why is the guest on more shows than our hosts?
That was Jason having fun with it. But anyways, so find a topic that you like that you can talk about and expand upon. And it doesn't have, like, you don't have to be 100% knowledgeable on it. It can be something you can learn inside too. Like maybe something like, I like this topic, I know some things about it, but I also want to learn more about it. So come on this journey with me. You know what I mean? Like take your listeners down that you know, that path of like learning more about it. And
like look how much I've learned about Bloodborne on this show.
That's right. Strength build all the way. And then you can also not only that, but then having a co-host, you can bounce things off of them. Like it helps keep the conversation going without you being the main focus, especially if you have anxiety issues. Now, a tip for anxiety issues, a little bit of alcohol. If you're old enough to drink, just have a shot or two and just relax. Just try and take a couple deep breaths and go just enjoy it. Enjoy the show. Like act like nobody's even there or listening. And there's another thing you can do if you're thinking about doing podcasting, but you're kind of like, I don't know yet. Try streaming. Like if you play video games on a regular basis, sign up for a Twitch account. I don't know about the Xbox, but PS4, I'm sure you can link it on your Xbox.
Yeah,
you can link your Twitch account to your accounts on your whatever console you have, and then when you hit the broadcast button, just start streaming to your Twitch account and just play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what's cool with, I'm sure on the Xbox, PlayStation will show you your chat, show you how many people are watching, comments, and just interact with them. Just say, oh, hey, got a viewer, da da da. And I'll be honest, like when I stream, sometimes I'll just talk to the game like I'm just like talking to somebody. You know what I mean? Like I'll just be like, all right, we're gonna go down this path. And we're going to see what's down here and be like, nope, that's not the way we want to go, you know, and kind of like, you know, just kind of say what you're thinking in your head as you're playing the game a little bit. And that'll help you just open up a little bit and be a little bit, you know, more accepting to the, you know, to being on camera and people like listening to you. And it'll help get rid of that anxiety, you know? So,
yeah.
I agree with all of that, actually.
And look, not all of your shows are going to be home runs, right? Like, if you want to learn from yourself, go back and see how you can improve. Like, you know, watching your ums and does and dead spaces and that kind of stuff. Yes. You know, and I'm not perfect at it. You know, nobody is, but you know, not all of your shows are going to be home runs, and don't take that personally, right? You're going to have an off day. Especially, you know, your first few episodes, maybe even into the 20s and 30s of your show. You know, I'm not saying that's what happened.
But see, the trick is you got to find someone named Moose and add him to your show, and then it just gets better.
Yeah,
maybe.
You got to also kick the guy named Todd Oxter off the show and bring in.
Oh shit!
We did not kick Todd Oxter.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Don't even start. That's fake news, Deerig.
I'm just kidding.
Damn,
I miss Todd.
Also, would recommend pick an easy format for your show.
Yeah.
So don't try and do too much at once. So mainly just have a discussion.
Take it from me. Don't try to do too much at once.
No.
Yeah, Captain.
No, what I'm saying is like on the show, don't have a segment that's like okay, you know, like a gazillion segments trying to do one show. Like pick, even if your show is just 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that's fine because you can expand it later. But like pick something simple that you know you can do and you know you talk about the subject so that you're not struggling like later episodes. And then as you get really good at those segments, then you can start increasing like the type of segments that you have.
Yeah.
So I think that is something that would be really good. Like we've been trying to do something better with our news on Nerds Gone Platinum just to try and make it faster, move the show along. And so Jason was just like, hey, let's try, pardon the interruption type show where you have a certain amount of time to talk about the topic. And if the time runs out, but I like what you're saying, you keep going. If not, I go to the other person. And it helps us move along.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're just like we'll probably talk about name changes for PSN tomorrow. They'll talk about it. I won't be on the show because I'll be at a concert. But I would just be like, love it, great idea, move on. You know what I mean? Like
about friggin' time.
And about freaking time. Like I don't have to try and fill space. You know, you just move your segments a little faster, and then like Corey was saying, go back and listen to what you've done, and you'll find places you can trim things. But anyways,
yeah, that's. I mean, for Nintendo Power Block, we were getting so bogged down with time. Like, I want that show. I don't want that show to be any longer than 90 minutes, right? And we've been doing pretty good. It's usually about 75 minutes, and I pick 3 or 4 news topics. I don't care if there's more than that. I don't care if there's less than that. And yes, Ed, I'm looking at you when we go into questions. I know you try to squeeze in a few more news stories, but I'm like, no, that's it. That's it. That's it. And then, you know, what we do is what we've been playing, and we actually need to shorten that segment up a lot too, because that segment gets real long sometimes. But, you know, I move what we've been playing, 4 news stories. That way we can spend a decent amount of time on it and then go into questions, and then we wrap up, you know? So, I mean, this show's a little bit different because we just kind of
just talk about what we're playing, and then we just get it. We do like a little bit of a dive on it, but that's fine. Yeah. Because well, at least with us, we're not all playing the same thing a lot of the time.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
Yeah, not unless it's like a huge, like a major release, like Spider-Man. Like
Spider-Man, God of War.
Yeah, but when it's a major release, that kind of changes up too, because we all have different opinions and different play styles. Like when Dead Cells came out, we spent 2 episodes on that. Or
yeah.
The game's
so good. It's so good.
Let's do another Dead Cells episode.
All right, let's do it. Everybody just play Dead Cells all week, and we'll come back next week.
Beat it. You have to beat it though, because Matt can't be the only one that beat it in the discussion. So.
Okay, I'm going to interject because my hard out is rapidly approaching.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
But a couple of things I want to address. If it's anxiety that is your problem, or at least that you feel is your big roadblock for this. Only jump into this situation when you're ready. If you know some people that are podcasting, see if you can be a guest. See if you can, that way. I mean, like hell, we're always looking for new people to talk to. So if you wanted to come on this show, just message one of us. Or send us an email. We could definitely schedule you. We get you in, and we'll just have a conversation. No big deal. And then that way you can just sort of you could listen to the show, figure out your own pluses, minuses, strengths, weaknesses, and then go from there. And then about are you ever afraid of getting rude comments and or listeners? That's something. This is the internet.
Yeah,
that's something real podcast.
The internet is
comments and tweets, and
the internet is simultaneously the best and worst thing to happen to humanity in its history.
Yes,
I mean we've had plenty of bullshit that we just tend to not acknowledge because if you acknowledge it, you give it power, and a lot of it tends to be just really pedantic and stupid. But like if someone was going to call out something any one of us says as incorrect, or like, no, you didn't, you're blatantly wrong here, that's a different thing. I mean, always be open to being corrected, but don't be afraid to be wrong. And we're all pretty transparent in saying these are just our opinions. We're not saying we're dropping severe knowledge and putting out new paradigms for people to shift into, because it's really not what we do. But the one big piece of advice I will give is don't do this to be famous. Like don't do this for, like, I'll be honest with you, if I've always said, and I know I've said this, I'm pretty sure I've said this to Moose, but I know I've always said it to Corey. Like, if money were to become a thing, that would be when I leave. And not that I'm afraid of making money, but I don't want this to become a job. I have a job. I don't need another one. Now, if the lucrativity of it becomes a problem, that's a different conversation. But I'm not out looking to make ninja money. I'm not looking to make Greg Miller money. Like, I just want to talk to my buddies.
There's been people also that we've dealt with that were only in this for trying to make money and be, famous or whatever, and like that those people are no longer associated with us, and like, I wish them all the best, I really do, but like it was becoming an issue. And I know, Matt, and I'll try to wrap this up because I know you got a heart out, Matt, but like,
that's fine.
We had a conversation about this, and like there's things that I would like to do for us, but it's not money. It's more like, we've gotten offers for like game codes and developer interview stuff like that. It's like, but we can't because we're not like a quote unquote proper business. So like legally we can't accept those because we have no, legal way of like.
There's more to it than just like, hey,
which is fine. You know, I would love to like do that someday, but this once this becomes like a job or something where we have to do it or have to make more content around the shows, you know, it's not going to be worth it, you know. And like,
yeah,
I have had conversations with other people like trying to do other shows, and it's just like, man, I can't keep this up, you know, with a kid and a family and stuff. Now it's just like, it's way too hard to do all that anyway. So, but yeah, just make it fun. And once it doesn't become fun, it's not worth doing.
Yeah.
Is the big thing. So,
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
and like, I mean, at least for Corey and I, this is not like our first podcast. We'd started stuff up prior, and then things had happened, and now we're here. And then this time we just convinced Moose to stick around. And then Moose started his own thing.
Yeah,
he's growing so fast.
That's what happens, man.
But
that's what happens.
But like, yeah, just this is something I think each of us sort of does for us as a collective rather than individual gain. And I'm happy with it. But since we've been talking about my heart out, it's pretty clear we're not doing 20 questions this week. But Moose, it's your game, so prepare for next week, okay? Okay.
I'll be prepped. I already picked it, so we're good.
Good. Legend of Legaia. No,
one time it will be that, and you'll I'll just laugh when you go get it.
You're gonna be like, "Yeah, it was Legend of Legaia." I'm like, "Huh?"
Wait, actually, didn't I use that game? And you guys,
no, you lost. You used something else, but we were thinking Legend of Legaia, and you're like, "One day, I'm gonna use that."
Okay.
Right. Anyway, this has been episode 117 of Nerds Gone Rogue. I have been Matthew Keel. I'm at Infinite_Rewind on every social media platform in the known universe. Moose, where can we find you?
Svhenn on all social platforms that I want to be on. And Nerds Gone Platinum. You can listen to us talk about the PlayStation Podcast. You can tweet us at NG_Platinum or email us at nerdsgoneplatinum@gmail.com. And you can watch us every Tuesday night, roughly around 9 o'clock we start. It's usually 9, and then we'll go live, and you can hang out with us and chat and ask us live questions on the show.
You can call them, too.
You can call us if I remember to write the number down and tell you. But anyways, Corey.
Their last episode was a call-in show, so listen to that.
Yes.
True.
We had fun with it. So, yeah.
Corey, take us home.
All right. You can find me at CoreyNHD86 on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me at CoreyNHD on Twitch, twitch.tv/CoreyNHD. I'm going to start streaming. I figure that's a lot easier than trying to do Let's Play stuff. So, yeah, that's going to be a good time. You can find me on Nintendo Power Block, where we're giving away Dark Souls Remastered. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel and email us a question at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter at Nintendo_PBlock and tweet us a question there. And yeah, you can also find our family of shows, the B-Sides and Arsenal X included in that. So Arsenal X is our Xbox show, and the B-Sides is whatever the hell we want it to be that week. Talk about it.
It's an ever-evolving little mess, that show.
Talking about a show with no rules. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching Nerds Gone Rogue. You can find it every Monday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on your podcast service of choice, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, and on youtube.com/NGRradio and NGRradio.com. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, we love you.
Banana and out.
You're welcome.
Hold on.
Nice.
Aquaria's on iOS and Android, so you can at least play it there.
Okay, now I just need to clear up some storage on my phone.
Age of Aquarius.
Nope. No.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
The musical hair sucks. I'm sorry. I do not like it one bit.
It doesn't like you.
Probably. That's fair. That's fair. But I don't want it to.
Do you feel now?
I mean, completely content that the musical hair doesn't like. Are you taking a picture of me?
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why?
I'm
Why?
showing the world what I deal with every day.
Why? This is my humorous shirt.
I hate you so much. You're all fuzzy right now because I'm downloading the Pow Block podcast so I can edit it and put it up tomorrow on time.
Sweet.
Nice.
Because I forgot to do that. So much. There's so much work that needs to be done that I just quit doing it and started playing games.
Damn. Yeah. You know what? You deserve that every once in a while, my man.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm obsessed with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I can't stop playing it.
Good.
It's a good one. That and Madden for some reason.
Because you're winning with the Browns. That's why.
He's taking them to the Super Bowl.
I'm 8-8 with the Browns online.
That's funny.
Dude, I got murdered the other day. Oh my gosh. I got
What was the score?
It was
100-1.
No, it was 35-20.
Dang.
But it should have been a lot worse.
That's not that bad. That's only 15 points, but still.
I know, but he had like 700 yards of offense and I had 100.
Yeah.
I scored both my touchdowns on pick 6.
Dang. Awesome. Bet you he was cursing himself.
I mean, my defense through 16 games is only giving up 8.9 points a game. It's my offense that sucks. So
I wish I could
The defense
I wish I could play Madden.
oh man, my defense is unstoppable. And by unstoppable, I mean I'm 8-8.
Unsurmountable.
You just
Madden's hard, man.
That is hard. Shall we start this?
I'm waiting on you, bro.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.